Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our educational workshop today on branding. As a business owner, you know that branding plays an essential role in shaping your customers' perceptions on your business. So we're excited today to learn more about branding. My name is Shayla White, and I'm proud to be the Executive Director of the Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce Women's Business Center. Our center is part funded by a cooperative agreement with the U.S. Small Business Administration to empower women-led organizations by introducing resources that provide tools, access to capital, valuable business relationships, and we offer weekly business and educational workshops such as this, technical assistance and B2B opportunities and counseling at no cost to you. Please register for an upcoming workshop from 12 to 1. We have a workshop coming up on Monday, October the 17th, and I hope that you will join us. We will be talking about successful HR practices for business owners, and our Women's Business Center is excited to partner with Verizon to support small businesses by promoting the Verizon Small Business Digital Ready program. This program here, you can access it through this QR code, and on this platform, you can view learning modules specifically tailored to your business. You can network with other business owners, you can receive free coaching, and become eligible for a $10,000 grant opportunity through November. So over the course of the year, Verizon has made a commitment to deploy more than $1 million in grant funding to small businesses. So if you have not registered for this program, please do so today and take advantage of this opportunity. You can scan the QR code. I'll also drop a direct link to this platform in the chat. Please stay connected with us here at the Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce. We are a nonprofit business organization made up of highly influential and diverse women and men dedicated to the advancement and empowerment of women through avenues of leadership, education, advocacy, and mentoring. So off to why we are here today. Again, we are going to be talking about branding, and we know that a strong brand identity has a powerful impact on your marketing messages and how your customers view your company. So I'm happy to have Rachel with us today to provide knowledge on 5 ways you may be cheating on your brand that can delay or destroy your success. Rachel is an award-winning speaker, brand and marketing strategist, podcast host, and Amazon best-selling author. Her book, Brand, Sell, Profit, Slay Your Brand, Sell Like a Champ, and Profit Like a Boss, has been a game changer for many entrepreneurs, marketers, and other brand builders. Rachel is the founder of Swag Strategy Solutions, where SWAG, SWAG, stands for Strategic Women Achieve Growth. Now, how awesome is that? Impact-driven women business owners turn to SWAG Strategy Solutions when they want a breakthrough in brand awareness and brand strategy to more clarity, credibility, and visibility. A content-rich, powerful speaker, Rachel has shared the stage with several people like Robin Roberts of Good Morning America, as well as best-selling author, military hero, and former Dancing with the Stars winner, J.R. Martinez. She resides here in Houston with her husband and her Shih Tzu, her dog, Shih Tzu, Olivia Pope. So please help me welcome Rachel.
Thank you. Thank you, Shayla. Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Let me just share my screen here. I hope everyone is doing really great today as we kick off this first week of October. Can you guys believe we are in October? All righty, let's see here. Oops. Oh. Wait a minute. Let's get this in presentation mode. Okay, so Everyone, let me know if you are able to see my screen. You should be seeing the first slide that says the title slide, Brand Adultery, 5 ways you're cheating on your brand that can delay or destroy your success. Okay, great. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for being here. I do not take anyone's time for granted, and I know we are busy, especially as just previously mentioned, with it being October now and Q4. This tends to be a busy time for business owners, for executives, for business leaders, really anyone, doing some amazing things or looking to do some amazing things. So thank you for spending this time with yours truly. So before we really jump into these 5 ways that you may be cheating on your brand, and you already heard some information about me, about my boutique consultancy, Swag Strategy Solutions, I do want to highlight that we do specialize in breakthrough brand awareness. And that's breakthrough is in breaking through the noise, the distraction, the doubt of your ideal client, because whether you realize it or not, that's often what you are competing against. It's not always your competitors. A lot of times you're competing to capture and maintain the attention of your ideal clients. So there is that. And then I also wanted to just take a little time to highlight some of our clients. And so the people you see on the screen here, now with the exception of that very attractive young lady in the middle right there with those killer black shoes, which you may notice a bit of a resemblance. And by the way, for those of you who don't know me, I can crack my own self up. I don't need any help whatsoever doing that. So with the exception of yours truly there in the middle, the rest of the people you see here, and I don't know, a couple of them may be hidden depending on how your screen is positioned, but these are not stock photos. These are real Swag Strategy Solutions clients. And they range from industries or professions such as web design, coaching. We have a PhD who juggles a 9-to-5 for oil and gas with a fashion and image consulting business where she actually utilizes the PhD she has in chemistry. Very interesting. A therapist. So we work with different types of business owners and businesses. And I just want to highlight that because it's not all about me. It's not all about the business or my business. It's really about the success of our clients. And I like to show that we're a real business and we have real clients. So there you go. And they're not all in the Houston area. We serve clients pretty much all over the country. So there's that. So I come with gift. Well, not gifts, but a gift. Okay. So I do have a gift for you all. I really encourage you to grab this amazing resource, and it is absolutely free. And it is the 7 ways to become unforgettable to your dream clients. It is a digital guide. It has audio embedded. And it is power packed, although it won't take you several hours or several days to consume this. You will be able to get through this in really about 20 or 30 minutes, but you will get a tremendous amount of value. And if you have ever been concerned, or if you're currently concerned, or it may even be a struggle to really stand out, to feel that you are standing out, that you're rising above all the noise in the marketplace, especially online, then you absolutely need this, because I can almost guarantee you at least some of these 7 ways are things that you've never thought about in terms of how you can stand out and how you can become unforgettable to your dream clients. So you can grab that by going to that link there, bit.ly/standout7 to grab that resource. So you all, I tend to be a fan of stats, and I know that doesn't apply to everyone. Now, hopefully your eyes won't begin to glaze over like, the image, and that's also that's supposed to be me also as well. Uh, but hopefully you won't start saying blah, 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 because this is really good information. All right. So these are just a few key stats related to brand awareness, brand development, and strategy. And the first two stats in particular, these are pretty big numbers. So close to 90%, 88% of consumers say authenticity is important when deciding what brands they like and support. Now, some of you, and possibly even all of you, may think, well, I can see that, or you may have even heard that stat before, but it may be a good reminder, okay? And just think about that, because again, that is a large number, and it just goes to show you how many consumers really value authenticity. The next stat, 85% of businesses, now this is interesting, and these are mostly small businesses, believe they offer a personalized experience. Yet, less than that, and kind of significantly less than that, only 60% of consumers agree with that. So for those of you who are really looking to provide a special experience, a customized experience, and an experience that aligns with your brand, you may want to go back and reevaluate that and really see if that is what's happening. And one of the best ways to do that is to check in with your customers, get feedback. You should constantly be getting feedback from your customers to see what kind of experience they are having, because sometimes what they are experiencing and what you think they are experiencing are not the same thing. Now, 46% of consumers say they would pay more for brands they trust. Again, that makes sense, right? And it speaks to the value of trust, that whole trust factor. We hear a lot about that, the know, like, and trust factor. Now, I like to go a bit further with that and highlight it is important, though, that we as business owners, as experts, as service providers, we get and understand our clients. It's not enough. It is important. It's not necessarily enough just for them to know, like, and trust us. They need to know that we know them. Let me say that again. Your client, your customer needs to know that you know them, that you get them, that you understand them. That's very important. And then the last stat here, and I really like this one. I mean, I like all of them, but I really resonate with this last stat because I think tapping into the emotion of our clients is so important. And there are numerous other stats that tell us that often people are buying out of emotion. They don't always buy based on information or facts. Sometimes later they will rationalize their decision with facts, but often initially it's based on emotion. And so this just says that when consumers feel connected to a brand, 57% will increase their spending with their brand. So can you say repeat customers? Can you say loyal customers? So these are just a few stats for you to note. And again, it just speaks to the importance of having a solid brand, a clear brand, and making sure that it resonates with your target audience. So having said that, let's jump into these 5 ways that you may be cheating on your brand. So number 1, putting branding before the brand. Putting branding before the brand. Now, I'm thinking some of you are probably like, what are you talking about, Rachel? And some of you may even be thinking, well, what is the difference? Isn't branding, brand, isn't it all the same? Or those interchangeable terms? Not exactly. So this is the thing, and this is how I usually explain the difference brand and branding. I consider the brand to be the internal, to be the core, whereas the branding is the external. So let's get a bit deeper into that. Your website, your logo, your business cards, essentially how your business shows up, how your brand shows up in the world, that is really your branding. But the branding is really there to support the brand. So the brand is what it is that you want to be known for. And let me add, what do you most want to be known for? Because there are certainly small business owners out there, whether you're a small business owner, expert, a service provider, who may have multiple skill sets. You may be able to do more than one thing well. But here's the thing, typically, your audience is going to get to know you for one, maybe two things, all right? So you really have to hone in on, what do you most want to be known for? What is your message, like your core message? I'm using that term again, core. That is your brand. It's also what people come to expect from you or from your product, from your service. What are your consumers' expectations? What comes to their minds when they think of you or when they think of your product, your service? That all composes your brand. And I don't know about any of you, but I definitely made this mistake early on in my business, because I pretty much believed what was being said out there and what I was being told and what I was hearing at the time. And I mean, this is like over eight and a half years ago. I believed the website was everything. I needed a great website. I need to get my website up. And so I spent almost 3 months, about 2.5 months, working on a website because I believed I could do my own website. I kind of drank the WordPress's no problem Kool-Aid. Yeah, unfortunately, that was not really a good thing, because after those 2.5 months, I had about 4 or 5 web pages and they were not good. And so I ended up hiring a web designer, which I really should have done it first, but I wasn't quite sure, I could afford it. And then again, kind of ego, I'm thinking, oh, I can do this. No, I couldn't, at least not well, because that was not my area of expertise. But again, it's because I really thought that was the most important thing. And what ended up happening, even after I hired a web designer, it took more time than it really needed to, because I still had not taken the time to get really clear on my brand, what the brand was, what it was about, what I wanted to be known for, identifying my target audience, or my most profitable client, as I like to say. So you really want to make sure that you focus on the brand, the internal, before focusing on branding external. Now, yes, sometimes you will hear people refer to brand kind of interchangeably. Earlier, Shayla mentioned branding, but just know, keep in the back of your mind that the brand really should come before the branding. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's the first way you may be cheating on your brand. And see, you may not have known that. Now you do. So see, you have to take responsibility now. The second way you may be cheating on your brand is that your actions are misaligned with your brand. So what do I mean here? Now, I have to say a little bit about this picture. You all heard in my bio that I'm the mommy of a fur baby named Olivia Pope. Now, if you guys are familiar with the hit TV show Scandal, which I loved, obviously, my husband too, actually. Yeah, I got him watching it as well. So we were big fans of Scandal, and you know that the star character, her name was Olivia Pope. So that's where our fur baby's name comes from. So this is a picture of her. This is Olivia Pope Thibodeaux. And I included this picture because Olivia Pope is pretty much always on brand. Her actions are aligned with her brand, and her brand is A diva, very vocal, not trying to be perfect. She is fine with imperfection. She is always on the hunt for food, always on the hunt for food. And she she keeps it real. Okay, that's the the other thing I'll say. So you as a business owner, you as a business leader, really, you want to make sure that your actions support your brand, that your actions reflect your brand. And that is the case with a business brand per se, as well as a personal brand. And that is a question that comes up often, which is better, which is more important. It really depends. Sometimes there's a very thin line, frankly, between a personal brand and a business brand, whichever we're talking about. And sometimes it's all one and the same. Your actions should reflect that. So I'll give you a couple of examples. And some of these may sound a little far-fetched, but I have experienced things like this. So if, for example, you are a health coach, and let's say you're a vegan health coach, then your content, what you say, what you show, what you project, it should support that. Now, being a vegan health coach, that's not the brand within itself, but let's say as a vegan health coach, you're very focused on being healthy. You are, you're holistic. You believe in being holistic. You believe in being integral. And so your actions need to support that. It's not a good idea for you to be seen or for you to post any content with you, eating a big steak. That could be a problem. Okay, those are actions not aligned with your brand. Another example, if you are a business owner who really does not believe in paid advertising, and again, this is something I have seen. And I don't have a problem with paid advertising, but I do focus more on organic marketing. And so if you're someone who also focuses more on organic, but let's say you go beyond just focusing on it, you really make it a point and you present yourself or your brand as one that really does not subscribe to paid advertising. You are someone who believes, I don't need paid advertising. I feel very strongly about organic strategies. I'm really good at that. That's what I teach my clients. And so it can really be, again, a problem if someone sees, then they turn around on Facebook and they see you're running an ad, or they're on YouTube, or they're on TikTok and they see you running paid advertising, or they see an ad of yours on Google. Well, that's inconsistent. And so you want to make sure that what you are putting out there, what your audience is seeing, it aligns with your brand. Because if you are out of alignment in any way, and especially if it's a pretty significant way, that is going to cause a problem. And you're kind of cheating on your brand. So the third way, sorry about that. Those are not supposed to be there. So the third way that you're possibly cheating on your brand, you are a cheerleader. You're a great cheerleader, but you're a cheerleader for others versus your own brand. Now, some of you may know exactly what I'm talking about. And I have some people in my network, in my even my personal life, who are great cheerleaders. And I can be a great cheerleader. But something I've noticed, there are people who are great cheerleaders all day, every day for other people, for other projects, other initiatives, other businesses. But when it comes to their own, they really struggle with that. They have trouble cheering themselves on. They have trouble being visible themselves or putting their own brand out there. And sometimes it can seem that, that is a really great thing to do, and it's a selfless thing to do, but it's not always good business. For one, typically it's not good business. And the other thing you have to consider, it's not just about you, it's also about your customers, your clients. If you're not cheering on your own brand, if you're not pushing your own brand into the forefront, well, there are people who are missing experiencing your brand. There are people who are not experiencing your business simply because you're not putting it out there, but you're supporting this one over here, that one over there. And yes, that's good. That is collaborative, that is a positive thing, but not to the detriment of your own brand, your own products and services. So please keep that in mind. And I know for some of you, it may even require a bit of a mindset shift, because I know, and I have a few clients like this, that it just really comes naturally for them to be very supportive of others and really be a great cheerleader for others. But you also need to bring that same energy, or have that same energy, for what you do. All right. So again, let's not do that, because you're cheating on your brand. All right, moving to number 4. Oh boy. So the fourth way that you could be cheating on your brand is you're just trying to do too much with one brand. You're trying to focus on too many things. Now, this goes back to what I said earlier with it is really important, and I would say critical, that you get crystal clear about who your ideal client is. Again, I like to call it your most profitable client, because I think when you really get clear about who that is, I mean, going beyond just demographics, you get into psychographics, you really get into this person's mind. And yes, you have to kind of think of this as one person. I know it's a group, but I really feel strongly about viewing your ideal client, or looking at your ideal client, really as one person, so you can really get to know them inside and out. And so let's say, for example, because there's a certain way this can work, and then for the most part, other ways it's not going to. So the way in which you can kind of bring multiple things under one brand is really if they are similar. If they're similar, or the outcome is similar, or the audience is similar. So I'll give you an example. There are a number of people, some of you may fit this description, I fit this description, where you're kind of multifaceted. And there may be 2 to 3 things you do, but they're similar. So let's say you may be a coach and a consultant. You may be a coach, consultant, and an author. You may be a trainer, consultant, and advisor. Notice how those things kind of have a common thread, and they are similar. Coaching and consulting is similar. Now, they're not exactly the same thing, but they're similar. Advising, training, and coaching, those things are similar. So if those are the kind of things that you do, yes, you can kind of bring those things under one brand. But let's look at another example. Let's say you do insurance. Let's say you're licensed as an insurance agent. You also do nails, as in nails in a like manicures and do nails, and fashion design. Those are not so similar. Now, the fashion design and the nails could possibly intersect, possibly, because they both kind of deal with beauty. That could even be brought into kind of a lifestyle brand, but the insurance is just kind of out there by itself. That's completely separate. And those are the kind of things I see some business owners trying to combine. Very tough. I'm not going to say it's impossible, because I'm one of those people who rarely says never. I'm not going to say I never say never, but I don't often say never, but it's not likely that something like that is going to come together really smoothly and it will make sense to your target market. So if you have those kind of varied skills, for one, that's wonderful. But keep in mind, again, it's not all about you, it is about your client. And so you want to make sure that you are able to effectively brand yourself, brand your business, and market effectively to them. And in order for you to do that, you have to really hone in on one, maybe two things that you do. Again, and if that's the case, they should be similar, or you really need to explore having more than one brand. And there are people who do that. There are businesses that have more than one brand because they have entirely different things or entirely different businesses. But I strongly encourage you to go that route rather than trying to pull all of these different things under one brand. All right. And lastly, the last but certainly not least way that you could be cheating on your brand is failing, and we touched on this before, failing to get clear about who your most profitable client is, aka your ideal client, and make sure that they're a good fit for your brand. So again, really important to go beyond just kind of the surface stuff with identifying your target market. In fact, target market, and that's a term we hear a lot, that is more of a group or a larger group. So you kind of start there. Who is my target market? Maybe the target market. And let me say, sometimes even the target market that we start with can be too broad. All right. Women is not a good target market because that's so many people. Obviously, ladies, we are half of the population, and that covers a lot of people, even just in the US, let alone if you want to branch out into international markets. It's a lot of people. And so I encourage you to drill down from there. Are you focusing on women entrepreneurs? Are you focusing on moms or mothers? Are you focusing on millennial women? And then you can start to drill down further. And this is how you really get to who that ideal client is, because you keep drilling down, and not just about demographics. I'm not saying that that doesn't matter, but a lot of times we get hung up with demographics, age, income, ethnicity, location, but we need to really drill down further into really what makes this person tick. And I'll share a little secret. Really, it's not that little of a secret that I have come to realize, and I know others in my network and other consultants, coaches, business owners that I have talked to. Often your ideal client, your most profitable client, is some version of you. Some version of you. It's either you currently, it's often the past or former version of you, perhaps where you started, what you used to go through, what you have experienced, or it's the future version of you. It's what you aspire to be. So just keep that in mind, because a lot of times that can really be helpful in really identifying who your most profitable client is. But I cannot tell you how important that is, because once you know that and you're really clear about it, and you get to know this person, again, inside and out, not just their age, just not, their income or where they live, really what makes them tick, where do they hang out online and off, what may be keeping them up at night, what gets them excited. Are they parents? Are they not parents? Do they enjoy traveling? What social media platforms do they hang out on? All of these things, and I know it can kind of sound like a lot. It may be kind of a lot, But if you dedicate the time to answering those questions, I mean, you take the time to do that, well, then it's done. No, it's not to say that your ideal client may not change over time, but for the most part, I mean, once you know that, that is gold, because then you have that information. You can kind of arm your arsenal to be able to really focus on that group and really, i.e., that person. So it tends to make other parts of your brand and marketing strategy easier, because you know really who you are targeting. And again, not doing that, not taking the time to do that, well, you're kind of cheating on your brand. So don't be a brand cheater. Okay, commit to your brand and your clients. Your clients will certainly thank you. I think you will thank you in the future, but your clients will, and your future clients will thank you, because again, we know just some of the stats that we went over before. There are a number of stats surrounding the importance of really connecting with your target audience, of building a really solid brand. And I say building, but I really prefer the term curating, because curating a brand, curating anything is more customized. You know, when you think about branding, I'm sorry, when you think about building, you tend to think, or I think of building a home. And often when you build a home, it's based on a model. So you have this model home that you're kind of basing your new build on, but curating is something that you're really going in and you are able to be creative. You are able to really design what you want. And so I really prefer that concept of a brand. So if you take the time to really curate your brand and really get to know your ideal client, it will pay off in a really big way. All right. So you all, whoops. You have to, okay, well, there is a slide after this. I'm not sure why it's not displaying. But for the most part, that is it for me today. I did want to reiterate, and let me thank you all again for joining. And I want to open it up, I believe, Shayla, there is time for questions as well. But I do want to thank you all for joining again. And I wanted to mention again, the resource, the free resource, 7 ways to become unforgettable to your dream client. You can go to bit.ly/standout7, or if you prefer to get information like that via your phone or via text, I have an exclusive mobile list. And so you can also text the word stand out. Text the word stand out. Well, really that's 2 words, but put it all together. Stand out all together to 888-817-7924. And if someone can possibly put that in the chat, that would be great as well. But you can text the word stand out to 888-817-7924. That's actually 888-817-SWAG. And you can get that resource that way also.
Perfect. I put that in the chat along with the link that you provided earlier that takes you directly to the 7 ways to become unforgettable to your dream clients guide plus audio. I'll put that in the chat. So we will open it up at this time. If you have any questions or comments, there are some comments, and there's a question in the chat. How can you prep for holiday promotions is the question.
Oh, well, I'm assuming if it looks like Katie, if you don't mean this, let me know. Well, yeah, you say holiday promotions. I'm thinking holidays is in upcoming holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I mean, I know obviously there's other holidays, but really we need to start now, or possibly should have already started, because it is literally around the corner. And of course, the holiday season kind of kicks off in November. And it depends on what you're doing. I mean, if you're launching something around the holidays, you certainly want to start planning for that, planning that launch really 60 to 90 days ahead of that. Now, that's really if you've done it before. If this is your very first launch, I would say to really start planning 4 or 5 months before that. Because believe it or not, it can take that long. Again, it depends on the situation. If you already have a following online, that certainly helps. If you're starting out kind of new and you have a small or no following, you kind of need some time to build that up. And when I say build that up, it's not to say, I certainly don't want anyone to leave thinking you have to have thousands and thousands of followers and this big following to have a successful promotion. I mean, whether it be the holidays or another time, but you do want a following. You do want a community because that's your audience. So you need time to build that following so you do have an audience, a target audience that you can sell to.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you so much for that question, Katie. I really appreciate it. Is there anyone else that has any questions or comments for Rachel at this time?
Come on, you guys.
Rachel,
don't
is
be
there a
shy.
way that they could follow you? Do you have your LinkedIn that you would like to drop into the chat?
Yeah, let me put, I had all of that on that last slide, Shayla, that's not showing for some reason. But yeah, I spend the most time on Instagram and LinkedIn. I am a fan of LinkedIn. And so you can connect with me over on Instagram at rachel.theswagstrategist, rachel.theswagstrategist. And on LinkedIn, of course, just under my name, Rachel W. Thibodeaux, Rachel Wilson Thibodeaux. And my website is swagstrategy.com, swagstrategy.com. And I'm putting that in there now.
Well, perfect. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon, and just to do a little bit of a recap of what we learned today, which is very, very important. I think that the tool to really start with evaluating whether or not you are cheating on your brand is going back to your business plan. So the first thing that we learned, if we put the branding before the brand, we're cheating, and the brand is the internal, the core, what you most want your customers to know you for, and that you will have put into your business plan. So if you don't know the answer to that question, then take the time to go back to that plan and see how you can implement some more details into your business. Because the branding part, the external, your website, your business cards, your social media, will have to come after you've established what your brand is. Number two, your actions are misaligned with your brand. So you want to make sure that you're talking and walking and promoting the same thing, that they're all aligned with each other. Number three, being a cheerleader for other brands, not your own brand. Number four, trying to include too much under one brand. So making sure that everything that you offer are similar, that they can interact with each other and not be so different, so that your audiences and your customers will be the same in order for you to be effective. Number five is failing, which is here still on the screen, to get clear on who your most profitable client is, your ideal client that is a good fit for your brand. And I love that the saying about your ideal client is some version of you. So you've created your business, you've launched your business because of something you have experienced, something that you're passionate about, something that you have provided a solution for. So your business is based on whatever you have experienced yourself. So your ideal client is some version of you, either what you used to be, what you are right now, or what you aspire to be in the future. And if you can understand that, then you can better reach your clients and understand what their needs are. So again, don't be a brand cheater. Commit to your brand and to your clients. I hope that you will start implementing these strategies or revisit how you are currently branding and brand your business to make sure that you're not cheating and on any of the things that we discussed today. And thank you, Rachel, for sharing your knowledge on this very important topic. We can't thank you enough for bringing these things to awareness for us so that we can start revisiting how we are branding our companies. Thank you so much again for attending. You have some comments in the chat, Rachel, if you want to go ahead and read them. You have some. Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us. She's with Texas Women's University.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes, definitely. I'm glad you found value, and everyone else who found value. I'm really glad to hear that. I appreciate that.
Yes, and so please stay connected with Rachel. She dropped her website, get the book, follow her on LinkedIn for more tips on how you can improve your business strategies. And also don't forget to stay connected with the Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce. Visit our website to check out our upcoming events. Remember, our next workshop is going to be on successful HR solutions for small business owners. You can register for that session by clicking on the link that I just dropped into the chat. That'll be on the 17th from 12 to 1. And sign up for our newsletter so you can stay abreast on any announcements, upcoming events, and special happenings that are going on with the Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce and also the Women's Business Center. There are no other questions. Then Rachel, thank you again for sharing your knowledge and expertise on branding. We know that you're the go-to person for that, you and your team at Swag Strategy. So thank you so much. And for those of you who joined us, thank you for attending. And we look forward to seeing you at another event soon. I hope you have a fantastic week.
Bye, everyone.